Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the Real Housewives of Orlando podcast. I'm Josie,
And I'm Alyssa.
and we're just so excited to be here today with you all. We're excited. We're talking about a topic today. We're calling it Working for Christ in Healthcare. So we're going to share a little bit about what we do for a living, what we're going through right now in this season of work, and just how that impacts our faith overall.
Yeah.
So I think we kind of want to start off with what we do.
Yeah. So, Joe, what do you do for work?
So I'm an occupational therapist. I work in senior living communities right now. So if you don't know what OT is, we help rehab people to get back to anything that takes up time in your day is the way I like to describe it to people. Any functional task, anything that's important to you and that's relevant to your life. So like for some older people, it might be driving again, it might be just dressing themselves, it might be taking care of their dog, might be just walking to bingo.
Love that.
Whatever it may be. But I have friends that work with kids too, and that's a whole different thing. I've never worked with kids, but I've always worked in senior living communities. So that's what I'm currently doing. I'm in a few different assisted living, independent living facilities, and it's my favorite population to work with. I just love them so much.
I love that for you.
Alyssa, can
Yeah.
you share a little bit about what you do?
Okay. I am a chiropractor. A lot of people know what chiropractors do, I feel like. Mostly everybody knows that we like to say crack the back or crack the spine or whatever. Really when we're doing that though is we are neutralizing the central nervous system. So bringing everything to its normal levels so that everything is able to work correctly with each other in your body, throughout your body. Yes, we do crack the spine, but we also, can adjust extremities as well, like hands, fingers, toes, knees, hips, elbows, shoulders, everything like that. Yeah. So, what originally made you want to get into occupational therapy?
So I have a cousin that's an OT. Shout out to Allie. I don't know if you listen to this. But she became an OT first because she's a few years older than me. And I always knew I wanted to do like something in healthcare. And, I feel like in high school, I was like, I want to help people. And I looked into a few different things. And I'm not going to lie, some things I was like, that's too much chemistry. That's too much this. So that was a little bit part of it. I won't lie. And I've just never been good at like too much sciencey stuff. Like I like a little bit. I love the human body. But once you get into chemistry and physics, I'm like, I'm out of here.
It ain't for me either.
So I think that was part of it too. But I shadowed her as well when I was in undergrad. For her during her first OT job in home health, which is a sight, let me tell you. That definitely showed me I didn't really want to do home health, but I liked what she did. I liked that. Well, she worked with older people too, so I think that's where Eddie's attacking you. Eddie, lay down. Come on, buddy. So, anyways, yeah, and I kind of liked that OT could be creative. And what I think a lot of people don't know is we can be creative, but we can also be very basic, which I like. I think sometimes people stress that OTs need to be creative all the time, and I really don't think we do all the time. Like I love that I can make something functional if I want to, but I can also keep it very simple as well. And I think that's what I love about OT is you can work with so many different populations and so many different settings, and we have such a large scope of practice that a lot of people don't even realize. So I feel like it gives you a little more freedom. Also, like I feel like we easily get burnt out, so it's nice to be able to like if you do want to switch up settings or try to work in a different like area that hasn't been touched on. I feel like a lot of people are advocating for that now for OTs. So yeah, I think that's what I liked about it so much. I continue to learn more about OT. I swear I learned more about OTs like where they could work once I was in OT school too. Like I never realized OTs could work in schools until I was in OT school and learning about all the different settings. So yeah, I think that's what I love most about it, and that's what really interested me. And yeah, I think I like being active too, and I feel like it's a job where you're constantly moving
Yeah, you
for
definitely
most
have
of the
to be
day,
active,
except for when you're doing all the paperwork. But I think that's nice. I just never saw myself sitting in a cubicle all day.
Mm-mm.
So I think that was also like what attracted me to the field as well, I would say. But what about
That's
you?
awesome.
What made you want to be a chiropractor?
Yeah, so I ran track in high school, but I was the long distance runner in track. Excuse me, sir, you can't bite the wire because then my microphone won't work. um I was the long distance runner in track, and on this very specific day, I was asked to run the 400 meter.
Mm.
I ain't no sprinter here, okay? I like to run long distance. And so on the last turn of the run, I like really just took off and then immediately fell to the ground in excruciating pain. Come to find out, I pulled a piece of bone off the growth plate in my hip.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was wild. So was on crutches for like an entire month because I really couldn't walk, and then went through the whole rehab side of it. So I saw PT, for a few months, and then after that, the bone had finally healed. But the pain was still excruciating all the way down my right leg, down into my foot and ankle. Um, so my parents did a lot for me. Very thankful for them. Went through MRI, CT scans, nerve conduction velocity exam in my calves and feet. And if you've never had that done before, oh my gosh, it was the worst experience of my life. And then I also had like 4 injections into my back as well. And finally that like was like for 2 years.
Mm.
I didn't really run for 2 years after that as well. So running was taken away from me for a little bit. But then after that, my parents were like, you know what? We need to do something else here.
Yeah, try something
So
else.
they took me to a chiropractor, and within like 3 visits, I was feeling so much better. And so then I went to undergrad after that, and I wanted to do physical therapy because, again, like you said, I wanted to help people and I wanted to be active while helping people. So I was like, I'm going to do physical therapy. So I went to undergrad starting out as pre-PT. And then I had come to find out I had to take a second, I think it was a second physics class.
Yeah, you have to take for
Yeah.
PT. You have to take both physics.
And I was
And OT,
like,
you don't usually.
and I was like, I can't do another class of physics. I literally would have to go home every single weekend and have my dad tutor me for
Yeah.
physics. Like it was, I hated it and I was so bad at it. So
It's
bad.
okay. I tried physics for one day. My advisor's like, you're gonna go at least the first day, and if it's a no, we'll figure something out. I'm like, okay, but I'm telling you, it's not. It's just not gonna work.
It's gonna be a no.
The first day I went, and there was a pre-test. I was like, we haven't
Yes.
even learned anything.
Yes.
And I took it. I knew nothing.
Yep.
Like literally nothing. I was guessing. It was a foreign language.
Yeah.
And it was a really big class size for my school, so I was already like overwhelmed. I felt like everyone knew what they were doing.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
And I couldn't understand the professor very well, so like that didn't help. He was really hard to understand already with a really hard class. So I literally left that and I went to her and I was like, yeah, you're gonna take me out of this right now. So I don't blame you. Physics is a no for me.
It was really hard, and we had to do that pre-test as well, and I'm pretty sure I got like a 30% on it. And I
Yeah.
was like, well, this semester's gonna be just great.
I never found out what I got because I dropped the class before I could find out.
That's awesome. So yeah, found out that I had to take a second test, and then there was this guy in my class, and he was like, well, if you do chiropractic, like if you just stay like, exercise science, now it's known as kinesiology, whatever.
Yeah.
And you just do that route, then you won't have to do a second round of the physics. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I talked to my chiropractor about it, and she was like, you should definitely do it. She's like, even if you don't want to do chiropractic, once you graduate with that degree, you can go many different routes with it. So I was like, okay, I'm in. So then I talked to her more about chiropractic, and I ended up going to chiropractic school because I'm obviously a chiropractor. And so that's how we're here. It's been a long ride.
And can you talk a little bit about where you are with employment right now?
Yeah. So many of my close family and friends know that I am currently unemployed and have been since the end of January. the last job I had was very tough. The last 2 jobs out of school,
Yeah.
my 2 jobs I've had since being out of school have been very toxic. Toxic work environment, toxic bosses, the whole 9 yards. And this last job, I left my first job on my own terms. Wasn't connected to that job for very long. Then I found my last job. And during that time, my bosses were just very manipulative, and just didn't treat their employees very well. And I was let go because from what I was told, the landlord, there was a new landlord coming in and wanted to buy out the building that we were in. And the only negotiating that was going to happen was if they had increased rent by 2 times the amount by what my bosses were already paying. And my boss was like, we simply can't afford that. And I was like, okay, I get that. Here I am just thinking, like, okay, they're going to put me in a different location because they had 3 locations at the time. And I was like, they're going to put me at a different location and all is going to be well.
Yeah.
Then we get to the point in the conversation where she was like, I hired a lawyer, I hired a broker, couldn't find a new location, all of that stuff. And so she came to me on a Wednesday and she was like, Friday's going to be your last day. So I was given a 2-day notice, no severance, no nothing at all.
So I want to touch on, like, you were completely blindsided. Like you said, like 2-day notice on a Wednesday. She's like, your last day's Friday. How did you feel in that moment? Like, having no notice, you're like, okay, you're giving me no employment at any other building you have. What was your first thought? What were you feeling?
At first, when she was saying all this, because the past, like, probably 6 months before this had happened, I literally had been praying, like, so hard that I would be taken out of the situation somehow. And then it would go, for a few weeks, okay, I understand I'm in this situation for a reason. Just help me to be so strong to be able to get through this. So I'd been praying all that for the last 6 months. And then as I was sitting there, I was like, you answered my prayer, but not in the way I wanted it. Like, you had answered it. And she's like talking to me. And I think I probably looked like a deer in headlights.
Yeah,
because there was so much going on through my head. Like, I don't have a job, but I've been taken out of this horrible job. Like, I'm not going to be employed by these horrible people anymore. Like, it was just like so much going through my head. And then because this happened right before my lunch break and I had to come back to work after
that was terrible timing. I don't know why.
Just horrible. Like, just let it happen at the end of the day. But so I get in my car and I go to call Anthony, and that's when I just, like, the waterworks just happened. I was sobbing and I was like, and he was like, are you okay? And I was like, I just lost my job. And he was like, it's gonna be okay, like, we're gonna be fine. Like, and then it all came together, right? We had been looking for a house for, I don't know, like 7 months. We couldn't find one that we loved. And I'm like, this is why the Lord didn't provide us with a home, because he had this all set up for us. Like, it was like, I've never had one of those moments before in my life. And it honestly was beautiful to experience it. But at the same time, I was stressed in that moment. And now I feel like I've just grown so closer to him because of this entire situation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like you've been such a good steward of the time you have right now. And I kind of want to talk about that. Like, how are you being a good steward of your time without work? Because you do have so much more time on your hands.
Yeah.
But I feel like you've been really good about filling the time in a great way that's serving Jesus.
Yeah, for sure. Like, one of the things that I love doing right now is taking our dogs on a walk, and I will literally spend like 10 minutes in prayer on that walk, like, just in my head, just and then just taking in, like, just like everything that he has provided us with, like this fresh air, the green grass, the birds chirping, the ability of me to be able to take the dogs on a
Mhm.
walk, like giving them that exercise and stuff like that. So I feel like that's been really good for me and my soul. And then also just doing like acts of like helping people, like at
Yeah.
our gym. I cleaned the fans recently, and that I truly enjoyed that, because I know it not only was benefiting me, but it was benefiting everybody at the gym,
Yeah.
not just me. And I love seeing people, I love putting a smile on people's faces too. But then again, like I said, just also just really becoming closer to the Lord, because it's it's hard finding finding a job. And so just really trying to stay faithful in that, just knowing that he has something better for me, and
Mhm.
I just have to stay patient, because maybe he thinks like I'm still not ready to go back into healthcare. Like it really took a toll on my mental health for sure at the end
Yeah.
there. It was, I mean, multiple times I would just cry, either on my work lunch break or at the end of the day. And it was getting to the point where I was just like so angry at everything. Like just everything. And I was like, I'm not supposed to be like this. Like
Mhm.
I'm not supposed to just be angry when, my lunchbox falls out of my car or something.
Yeah.
And I get so angry just because I'm angry in the situation that I'm in. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's great. I think it's
Yeah.
awesome. Like, as your friend, I just feel like you've remained so, like, at least in front of me. Like, I know
Yeah.
obviously in your alone time it can be completely different. I feel like we all feel that way, but you still seem so at peace. And like, even though it's like there's so much unknown right now, and like
Yeah.
literally every week we talked, you have to file for the unemployment thing,
Yeah.
which is, it sucks, but it's
Yeah.
like you still do it. And yeah, I just feel like you've been a really good steward of your time, which I really respect as your friend. I think it's really cool. So,
Oh,
and I know it
thanks.
stinks, so I
Yeah.
understand. Um, I feel like you've kind of maybe touched on this, but I like, in regards to this, like, how have you remained faithful through this really tough season? And you're still not obviously seeing a job right now, and it's March, and we've been going through this since January.
Yeah. I think a few things. So one, I have been listening to the Bible every day.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm trying to do that for the entire year. And I'm still in it.
Yay!
I'm still
It's
in
hard.
it.
The first few books of the Bible,
Yes.
Leviticus. I'm talking to you.
Numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah. They are tough to sit there and listen to. And I'm not gonna lie, some days I do zone out, but I do listen to
You're still taking it in, though.
yeah, I'm still taking
people don't
it
realize
in.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, just listening to that puts me at peace, just listening to, like the different things that happen in the Bible,
Yeah.
and just knowing how those people reacted when the unknown was unknown to them,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I just trying to be more of a follower of Christ, surrounding myself with believers like
Yeah.
you guys, everybody at the gym, family, and just trying to become stronger in my faith has really helped me as well. um yeah I yeah
I love that. I appreciate that.
yeah
Advice for someone going through a similar season as you.
Oh yeah. I'd actually just talked to someone recently about this. um you know we we don't know what tomorrow brings.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what the next hour brings in our life, right? We might have plans, but they might not go as we planned it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think if I had to give advice to someone, it would to be, stay faithful, don't give up, because he is truly walking with you in this season of your life, in this chapter of your life. He is there, even though if he doesn't seem there with you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, talking to him daily, praying daily, and just really understanding that there is something bigger and better out there that's waiting for you.
Yeah.
Whether it's in 2 months or in 6 months, you have to just really promise yourself to stay calm and really be grateful for what you have right now.
Yeah.
I think that's what's really helped me, really grounded me, is just to be thankful for what I have and be thankful for what he has provided me with in this season, because it is crazy to see how he has provided with when I feel like I have like little to none, right? And he is just keep providing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
When I was sitting here like kind of meditating on the word and thinking about what we're going to talk about today, I feel like the perfect verse for your situation, and I feel like we all know it. Psalm 23, and it's just the chapter, that talks about the Lord as my shepherd.
Mhm.
And I'll just talk about the last like few verses, verse 4, chapter 23, verse 4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. And that also made me think of a quote I saw the other day, and I posted it, and it said, when Jesus is your shepherd, even the
Mhm.
valley becomes holy ground, which I think, we forget that, like, even in the deepest, darkest place in the valley, he's with us. And, like, he's with
Yes.
you
Yes.
in this valley that we're going through. We don't know how long the valley's lasting, but, like,
Yeah.
it's still holy ground with him, even up on the mountaintop and on the valley. So I just feel like that was so applicable to your situation right now, and just what we've been talking about, like, just going through this really hard season of, like,
Yeah.
unemployment for you. So I
Yeah.
just want to say I'm really appreciative of you as a friend, but
Oh.
I think it's really awesome to see, like, you just going through this rough season and having such a great attitude about it, even though you could sit here and complain and just mope
Yeah.
around all day, and you don't do that. So I think it's great.
Thank you.
But eventually you will be employed again.
Yes. Whether that is, 2 weeks from now or 6 months from now.
Yes, we don't know. But I want to talk a little bit about how we, in our jobs, and like even, in your past other jobs, like how we remain servants of Christ in the workplace. Because obviously, like, there's a fine line. We can't be preaching to our patients, unfortunately.
Right.
We want to keep our jobs.
Yeah.
But we can still try to be the image of God and try to be like Jesus in the workplace. So I want to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah.
So I guess I want to start off, like, how does faith impact your work and your perspective when treating patients?
Yeah. I would have to say, the people who walked through my door. I'll just talk about my past job, my most recent job, because I was seeing way more patients there than my first job. I saw a multitude of people. Okay, like
All walks of life.
Oh my gosh, all walks of life. I mean, some of the stories is just crazy, and I'm sure you have too.
Yeah.
From literally newborn to the age of 95.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was crazy. But there'd be some days where some patients would walk in, and I would literally, before I entered that room, I would stand in front of the door with my eyes closed, and I would just say, Lord, please be with me right now. Like, please be with my heart. Please be with my words. If it was a hard x-ray I had to go over, I, would say, just please be with my words and my knowledge, and let that information flow out how it needs to for the patient to be able to understand what I was saying. And then just with tough, difficult patients, that either didn't want the care or they weren't seeing the healing that they wanted to see in a timely manner or whatever. Patients that would yell at my front desk and stuff like that, and then have to come back and see me, and I already knew what was going on. They're already heated and stuff. I just have to, said again, I just have to really just take a step back and just say, Lord, just be with me.
Yeah.
Just calm me down, calm me, calm my nerves, calm everything, so I'm able to talk to them with a clear mind. And I think just starting to do that, because I've never had to do that in a job in the past, like in just like, like high school jobs,
Yeah,
undergrad
yeah.
jobs, whatever. So I think that was really cool, being able to bring my faith into the workplace like that. And then also there were times where I would have conversations with patients, and the conversation kind of led to, me finding out that they were a believer as well.
Mhm.
And then we would kind of go into lead the conversation as, I know the Lord has a path for you in life.
Yeah.
And, I had this one conversation with one of my patients, and it's never happened before. She's the only one that happened to, and it was a conversation like that. I was like, the Lord has different paths for us at different times in our lives, and unfortunately some of them are harder. And this girl just broke down in tears, and I was like, this has never happened to me before. I've never like talked to someone about Jesus before and like brought that emotion out of someone.
Yeah.
And so I literally had to be like, I'm going to give you a moment, because in my head I was like, I need a moment. I was like, I got to go back to my office and I need to take
I've
a
been there. I'm
moment.
like,
yeah.
I'm not blinking. I'm not crying.
Yeah. So, being able to be like that though in healthcare as well was also really, really cool and just empowering, I feel
Yeah.
like.
I know. I feel like for me, that's been like always in terms of like my walk with Christ.
Yeah.
That's been the most gratifying for me personally, is when I get to like do that in the workplace or have a connection with someone who's also a believer.
Yeah.
And I will say that like as soon as like we find that out about each other, it changes the whole course of our like relationship as therapist and patient.
Yes.
And not like in a weird way, but just like
Yeah.
I don't know, like the trust, the bond we have, the
Absolutely.
fact that like that person, like they'll pray for me, I'll pray for them.
Yep.
Whatever it may be. So yeah, I think that is like the best feeling ever. Like I've had so many moments of that, thank God, and I think it is just because of the population I work with actually,
Yeah.
which is the truth. But
Yeah.
I think for me, like how my faith impacts my work, like because I work with mainly older adults, um, which a lot of people, a lot of my classmates, a lot of friends, they're like, why older adults? Where do you see the appeal? And I'm like, no, like I literally cannot see me working with any other population. I think it's because I was telling our neighbor the other day, he was actually asking me why I chose that population. And I was like, honestly, I think it's because one, they have so much wisdom. I
Yeah.
love hearing their stories, love hearing their life. Um, Two, they care about my life, which
Yeah.
isn't, obviously they're coming to me for care, but it is really cool when like you care about your patient and they actually genuinely care about you too
Yeah.
as a person and not just a therapist. They don't just see you as the therapist that they're paying.
Yep.
They see you as a person and a human. I
Mhm.
appreciate that. But most of all, I appreciate is like these people are in the last quarter of their
Yeah.
life, if not even shorter.
Yeah.
And I get to be one of the last few people that impacts their end of life, which is really cool that I have that opportunity because not everyone else gets that opportunity.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And also I have a soft spot because I don't think many people realize how many of these people in like assisted living facilities or nursing homes, they will have family from 1,000 miles away to 5 miles away,
Mhm.
and they still don't come and see them as much. There are
Yeah.
really good families and really good kids, and I get it is a
Right.
lot of work to see them. I'm not saying it's not, but to be another person in their life that maybe feels like someone who cares about them, family
Yeah.
that they get to see consistently that's not their family, makes them feel really good and really special. And it makes me feel special, like I said, that I get to impact them that so much that they care about me in a personal way. And I
Yeah.
think that's why I love it. And in terms of like my faith with that, it's like, I pray that these people believe in Jesus and get to go to heaven at the end of
Yeah.
their life. And the ones that I do connect with over faith, that is like a really great conversation with them, because even the ones who are believers at that age can be really pessimistic about death
Yeah.
and getting old, and especially if they don't have that great of a working body anymore, like
Right.
they just want to die and they look forward to dying, and I try to help them see the kind of the light, at least still, like, of
Yeah.
why they're still here, because some of them have a really hard time understanding, like, okay, well, I don't work, I lay in a bed all day, or I don't really do much, I go to
Right.
bingo and that's it, I eat, I sleep, and that's it. So why am I still here?
Yeah.
That's what some of them really struggle with seeing. I actually had a conversation with a patient about this a few weeks ago, and I was like, this is what I always tell every patient. I'm like, and I don't have to bring Jesus into the conversation if I don't have
Right.
to. Like, I can literally, this is what I say. I'll just be like, you're clearly still impacting someone's life. And I'll
Mhm.
even say, I was like, you're impacting mine right now.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, I'm your therapist, but our conversations are impactful to my life. And I hope they are to you.
Mhm.
And because I think sometimes, yeah, they think they have no purpose anymore.
Right.
But I honestly still feel that they have a purpose at
Yeah.
99 versus 5 years old. So I think it's cool that I get to kind of share that with them. And some people receive that well. Some people don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most do, I will say. And I think too, like, Jesus can be a big motivator for some patients who are my believers. Like,
Absolutely.
oh, like this one lady I had in the nursing home I worked at a few years ago, and she had some, memory issues, and she get a little sassy. But as soon as I brought Jesus up, of like, listen, we're gonna get up today, we're gonna get ready. The Lord wants us to get ready, impact the world today. Like, let's do it. She's like, okay. So, like, hey,
That's awesome.
I knew she was the lady of the Lord, so I knew I could do that. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do that with anybody, just so you know. But we had, like I said, we had that connection, so that was cool. Like I said, when you make that connection with people that they're a believer and you're a believer,
Yeah.
as a therapist, I really love it. I think it's really awesome and just really gratifying.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. I didn't have many experiences with it, but the ones that I did were very awesome. I
Yeah.
have to say.
Yeah. I want to talk about what is the best part about working in healthcare and being a follower of Jesus, would you say?
I would have to say for me, the best part working as a chiropractor would be, just being able to heal people without medicine.
Mm.
That is a huge thing. That's one of my, philosophies in life, just being able to heal the body naturally.
Yeah.
I think that's super awesome. And just when I have a patient come in so much pain, and then like 3 weeks later, they literally say, I've been to so many people and this is the best I've ever felt.
Mm.
And I'm just like, thank you so much. Like, I just am like, the first few times it happened, I'm like, are you joking though? Like, are you just saying that to make me feel better?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then it kept happening and I was like, wow, like this is awesome.
Wow,
Because
what we do actually works.
right. It's like, okay, it's validation.
Yeah.
But it's crazy because like that same thing happened to me. Like with
Mhm.
my injury, it was like it was the last resort going to the chiropractor. And I'm
Mhm.
like, this is not gonna work. Like, because everything else, not even injections worked, you
Yeah.
know? And so I was just like, this is not gonna work, blah 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 blah. I went in with a bad attitude, and then 3 visits later I was like, I can drive with my right foot again.
Mhm.
Like, this is crazy. And so just being able to see that happen for other people, like I know how that feels. So it's just an awesome thing. I think that's the thing that I love most
Yeah.
about working in healthcare, being a chiropractor. What was the next question?
Oh, well, it was kind of combined.
Oh.
Like, best part about working in healthcare and being a follower of Jesus. Like,
Oh, gotcha. And then yeah, just I guess towards the end of my job, I was trying to, just, really be more like Jesus, like just trying to be like how he wants us to live. Cause I was like, okay, if you're going to keep me here, I guess I need to, uh, be present with these patients. I need to, slow down. And, I always listen to the patients, but sometimes the difficult ones, I would just be like, are you done talking now? Like, I'm going to get out of here. So I would just be, maybe the Lord wants me to listen to them more. Like, I would just
Yeah.
like try and, just be like, okay, I just need to be more like him. I just need to like walk like him. I need to trust in him, everything like that. So I think, that was also really cool trying to incorporate my faith into healthcare towards the end. I
Mhm.
would say more it was happening just because that's when I was like trying to just pray more and become closer to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, I feel like the best part about working in healthcare is just like obviously getting to impact people,
Yeah.
but also like I don't know, it's I for me it's yeah, it's easy to be at the gym and around my friends and around church and like talk about Jesus, but like at work, it's like we can't really gotta tread
Yeah.
carefully of how we
Yep.
do it. So, the best way we can is just trying to be like him and like be a light.
Yeah.
And, like I said, I deal with all kinds of patients like you do. Like
Mhm.
I've had some really cranky old people
Ugh.
and they're
Yeah.
just mean to me right out the gate.
Mhm.
And, like and that just might be them or just their situation. So I try to have patience and like empathy and consideration of that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, I'm gonna try to be like just like my mom said, kill them with kindness in a
Yes.
way, like
Oh,
just be so positive, be such a light that it's like it's contagious to them
yes.
that they are just like, why are you, why is this person so nice and so happy and so joyful? And obviously can't be that all the time. I try to be at work.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that's like the best part, at least in terms of being like a follower of Jesus and working in healthcare
Yeah.
and knowing like God has gifted us this ability to help like rehab people and heal people, impact their life, mentally, physically, emotionally.
Yeah.
I think is a great gift because obviously not, other people have so many different gifts and we've been given the gift to do that in this life.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool. Like I said. Um I was gonna say something else. I don't remember what I was gonna say. It's gonna
The
kill
worst.
me. Dang, I don't remember. A cat's got my tongue. Uh, but on the opposite end of the worst part about working in healthcare.
I I would have to say, a lot of patients, and you can definitely probably attest to this. A lot of patients take us, and I don't know why, but they see therapist and chiropractor on our heads. So they just, spew out like whatever is going on in their life, right?
Mhm.
And then to have to take that
Take all
on
that home.
take all that home. That I mean, some days I would just come home feeling so heavy
Mhm.
because of just hearing what some people were going through. Like one of my patients one time, she had like 3 different family members being diagnosed with cancer like all at the same time. And she was sobbing to me about it and I was just like I don't even know what to say.
Yeah.
So like hearing stuff like that was really really hard. And then
I don't think a lot of people realize like we're like mental therapists too, like
I,
counselor. We wear
exactly.
a little bit of different hats, which is like it can be gratifying in a way of like, I'm I'm glad they feel comfortable with me, but
Yeah.
like you said, it's like you're hearing complaining or just like what people are going through all day long
Yes.
usually, which it's not a hat you really are trained to wear, but you do it.
No. Yeah, they don't really prepare you for that in school. I'd have to say that's something that, if someone came to me and they were like, "What's something that like you didn't feel prepared for?" That part right there.
Mm.
That part. People all different, I mean, just all different aspects of life, people just, I mean, I had one woman, she so many people who had lost their parents when I was there,
Yeah.
and it was heartbreaking to see them come in just so heartbroken and grieving and
Mhm.
everything like that. But then, when they hear something happened to me, like I lost my grandmother a few months back, and when they had heard about it, they were all like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Like,
Mhm.
I know how it is, or to lose a grandparent, to lose a parent, whatever." And so that was also, just heartwarming to know that at that point I was like, "Oh, y- you're not just my patient. Like, you're
Yeah.
also like, someone who cares about me as well. You don't just see me as like your chiropractor,
Mhm.
So, um, but yeah, and then just dealing with those those cranky patients, man. I mean,
It's like a love-hate. It's almost like a challenge for me a little bit.
oh
It's like an
goodness.
egg. I like to see if I can crack it.
Yeah,
But then I reach a certain point where I'm like, hey, you can't be cracked, and I'm exhausted now.
yeah, and then it comes to the point where it's like, well, you're in here cranky. Now you're not going to heal because
True.
now I can't connect with you the way I need to.
Yeah.
I can't connect with your body the way I need to because you're just so tense and you're cranky and you're stressed
Yeah.
to where your body's not going to relax. And then it's like, well, you didn't adjust me. And it's like, well, I did, but like
Yeah.
your body's not relaxing, so
Yeah.
it's not letting things move, you know? So it is that's also really tough too, going
Mhm.
through that. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with all that. I think too for me, the worst part, at least like this last year, and just dealing like with my own like body
Mhm.
pains and everything like that is like hearing everyone else's pain,
Yeah.
and I'm in so much pain
Yeah.
treating them,
Yep.
and they have no idea.
Yeah.
And it's not their fault,
Yeah.
and it's not me trying to be like, "Oh, I'm in pain too."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
but the fact that like I have to try to hide it,
Yeah.
and I don't want them always to know I'm in pain. I don't, I don't want to sit there and complain about my pain when you're here to see me for your
Your
pain
pain. Yeah.
or whatever you're going through. And I always have had the mindset of like someone is going through something worse than me, like
Yes.
everywhere.
Yes.
And so sometimes I'm like, their pain might be worse than mine. I have no idea. But they
Yeah.
they have no idea what pain I'm feeling
Right.
every day.
Yeah.
And especially when I'm working on them, even though
Yeah.
I have to do it. And I think that's what's hard for me sometimes is like hearing them complain about something really small. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I'm in excruciating pain.
Yes.
I'm at 7 out of 10 pain.
Yep.
And I'm still treating you even though I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this, but that's what I need to do for your plan of care.
Yeah.
So I think that's, at least for me, like the last year, that's been really hard for me.
Yeah.
Or even just going through something like mentally in the moment. Like
Yeah.
I haven't right lately, but like I don't know, in the beginning of like my job, if I was going through something, like you just gotta like put on a pretty face and go to work.
Yep.
And like that's easy to do, maybe a little easier doing a cubicle job than it is
Right.
like our jobs, because you have to put on a face and you're
Yep.
ready to start the day and you're seeing people all day nonstop and dealing with people's complaints and pain, which that's what we're here for, but it is a lot to take on
Yeah.
mentally and emotionally and physically. So I would say that's probably just the worst part about it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But we try
Yeah.
to push through.
We push through and we persevere.
That's right. And we're thankful
Yes.
to be an occupational therapist and a chiropractor.
Yeah.
Period. 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 All right. Well, I want to leave us off with some Bible.
Okay. I'm here for it.
One of the verses I wrote down was Colossians chapter 3, verses 23 through
Mhm.
25. Which I feel like this is also perfect for you. Perfect for anybody in whatever you do.
Yeah.
But whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men, knowing that from the Lord you will receive the inheritance as your reward. You are serving the Lord Christ, for the wrongdoer will be paid back for the wrong he has done, and there is no partiality. And I feel like for you, although you're not literally like working a job,
Yeah.
your work that you're doing, just cleaning fans,
Yeah.
making sourdough,
Yeah.
helping someone out, helping me out, whatever it is, just being a good friend, like that's still the work you're doing right
Yeah.
now. And you're doing it heartily, which I think is
Yeah.
great. And I just feel like that was really applicable for you
Yeah, I
because you're
love
making the
that.
most of the work that you have right now, even though it's not a real,
Job.
chiropractic job that
Yeah.
you were expecting.
Yeah.
And then the last verse I want to leave off with, which I've had this one saved for a few years because the last day of my last clinical rotation, a
Mhm.
patient said this verse to me.
Aw.
And so, I've always had it saved because I never had heard this verse until she had read it over me
Yeah.
and prayed it over me. And it's Psalm 90, verse 17. Let the favor of the Lord our God be upon us and establish the work of our hands upon us. Yes, establish the work of our hands. And that's just saying, like, let God's favor be upon whatever work we do.
Yeah.
and success, and everything we do is for him, like in our work. And I think
Yeah.
it's just a reminder, like, yeah, I'm an OT or a chiropractor, but everything we do is for him.
It's for
At
him.
the end of the day.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. I love that so much.
Yes.
Yay.
All right. Well, I'm gonna leave us off in prayer today.
Okay.
And yeah, just thank you guys for listening. We're
Thank
excited for you
you.
guys to hear this episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll lead us off in prayer.
Okay.
Jesus, I just thank you so much for this opportunity to use this platform, this podcast, and be with my friend Alyssa to just talk more about you and how you impact our lives as women in healthcare. God, I just pray for the listener today and whoever's listening to this, that it just impacts him, it touches their heart, opens their eyes, Lord. And I hope they just learn something new about you, about themselves, and that it just helps them to grow closer to you, Jesus, God. I just pray you help us to continue to glorify you on this platform and using this podcast as a way to reach people and just to come to know you, Lord. And that way we can all spend eternity with you and just continue to further your kingdom. Jesus, I thank you so much for this beautiful day and this time together. I pray this all in your precious name. Amen.
Amen.
Yay.
Yay.
See you guys. We
Bye.
love you.